What is up? And what's happening, Auburn fans? Welcome into the 85th edition of Auburn Primetime Live. I'm your host, Blake Lane. And tonight we're here to talk about some 2027 recruiting and the retirement of Gus Malzahn. I'll throw that one in there. I know a lot of Auburn fans, were happy to see him go when he got let go during COVID. But I think we got to pay our respects to one of the coaches that he brought a lot of wins to Auburn. He had us in big time games. He had us on the national stage, and we haven't seen that since he has been let go. So, towards the end, we'll talk about him. And look, to kick things off, let's be honest, man. Alex Golesh is starting off hot. We're in the running for a big time elite quarterback in the 2027 class with Israel Abrams. And matter of fact, he was FONG bombed by Steve Wiltfong on 3. And usually when that happens, you got to look at like they know something that he's going to commit. I don't think there's a timeline on it, but usually he's pretty dang accurate. And when he gives out a FONG bomb, it's rarely off. And so I think Auburn feels really confident about this. Now, he's a 6'4" guy, I think like 190 pounds, and a really solid arm. I think he threw for like 4,000 yards last year, threw for 40 TDs. I think he only threw for like 6 picks, had, I think, like 200 rushing yards and 10 rushing TDs. Okay. Very talented guy. When you watch him, the arm strength is there. They probably want to get the weight up a little bit, but a guy that he can move around the pocket when you watch him. He can move around the pocket. He doesn't look to take off and run right away when things break down. He has some escapability, but he wants to be in the pocket throwing the football. And even when things do break down, he rolls out and escapes pressure. He still has his eyes down the field and looks to deliver a strike. So I really like watching him. I think he's super talented. The big thing for me in all of this is, can Alex Golesh bring him home? Can he go to Illinois, Chicago, of all places, where Auburn has not had a lot of success? I don't think they've really tried to have a lot of success there, but it's a new age. It's a new era in recruiting for Auburn. And Alex Golesh really likes this kid. So can you go in and can you lock him up and can you bring him home to the Plains? And so far, with everything that happened this past weekend with Junior Day, what Alex Golesh is getting FONG bombed on, the commitment that we've already got for the 2027 class, I would say that he's off to a pretty hot start at Auburn. And once again, we can sound, like a broken record over and over again. The guy hasn't slept. He hasn't went to sleep. He's on the trail hard. He seems like he is going to fit right in recruiting in the SEC. It looks that way. I think he's doing a pretty dang good job, right? I mean, you're up for one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the nation. Some say he's the number 2 quarterback. Some say he's the number 3 quarterback. It depends on whatever site you want to look at. I don't really care. But let's just say he's the top 5 quarterback in the country. If you can land that, I think you're in good shape, man. Remember when Hugh was trying to land Julian Lewis, and it was just up and down roller coaster. We didn't know where he was going. He picks Colorado. If this could be absolutely massive for Alex Golesh, because you want to get your quarterback early, right? Like, you want him to start recruiting other pieces of your roster. You want him to start recruiting big time wide receivers, go out and call out some big time offensive linemen that we could possibly get for the 2027 class. So I think this is really big. If this FONG bomb is true and it hits, like I said, I don't know when it'll hit, but it usually is pretty accurate for Steve Wiltfong, because they are way in the know. And I don't think they like putting out stuff that's not going to come true. So big get for the Auburn Tigers if they do land Israel Abrams. Now, I want to talk about the quarterback room. If Israel Abrams comes to Auburn, I think, just my personal opinion, I think he could actually make a run at trying to get on the field next year. I know you've got Tristan Tia. I know you got the other kid from South Florida that transferred in. A kid of this talent, all right? He is coming to Auburn and he's going to try to get on the field right away, to play right away. He's a highly rated kid and he's going to come in and compete for a starting job. I'm not saying that he's going to win it. I'm just saying that Israel Abrams is coming from Chicago, Illinois. If he does pick Auburn, he's coming down here to start. He's gonna try to win the job as a true freshman. Now, does Alex Golish give him the keys as a true freshman? Who knows? We'll wait and see. That's a long time away, but it would be a really, really big get, and it would really boost the momentum for Auburn recruiting, especially under the new regime and Alex Golish. So super excited there, man. I hope it comes true. I hope you can lock him down. I hope you can keep him locked in. I know high school recruiting, a lot of people don't really follow it that close anymore. I get it because of the way the transfer portal is now, and it's kind of ruining things. Well, are they going to stay? And people don't really care about high school recruiting because you have the Deuce Knight situation where they play a year, they sit the bench, and then they transfer. I get it. I completely understand it. Okay, it's just it's the it's the now of college football is what it is, and I hate it's like this. But one way you're going to keep this kid locked in the boat if he does pick Auburn is you're going to have to win. All right. You're going to have to show progress on offense because you can't keep being the same old Auburn with no offense, no touchdowns, constantly having to kick field goals. You're going to have to put Byron Brown in high level situations, man, to produce at a high level and really show progress for this program. And that could lock down Israel Abrams to get him to Auburn. So, big thing on Alex Golish's plate. Really, really excited. This is a big year one, man. This is an absolute massive year one. If we're being honest, like I know you look at 5-7, you see what people are starting to predict Auburn. We'll talk about that later this week. People are starting to come out with their way too early SEC predictions and things like that. Whatever, okay? Whatever. You got to show up and show it on the field. And that's where we're at with Coach Golish and this team. We're looking to the spring game, spring practices, and we're looking to that 2026 schedule. And you have an opportunity to turn those one score losses into maybe one score wins, right? If you can, your season looks completely different next year. If you can just win 2 of those games, your season looks completely different. And once again, that's positive momentum for Alex Golish and this football program. So there's that. Now, I'll get over here to the chat real quick and then we'll move. Miss Connie, thank you for showing up. I'm so sorry that I'm late. It's been a very busy past 3 days. Sunday, I couldn't go live because we had a scrimmage and I went to coach a little baseball there. And then last night we practiced. I didn't get home until like 8 and I spent time with my family. And then tonight, the same thing. So here I am. I couldn't pass this one up. I know I'm going live on Tuesdays. So we're late night, baby. We are late night and we're here. Miss Devon, I see you. Thank you so much, War Eagle, as always, for being here. I think it's really, really massive for this channel that the A1 day ones, man, they always show up no matter what time I go live, whatever. They are always here, and I am really, really appreciative. So let's get over here to Gus Malzahn, man. Calling it quits. Hell of a career. It's something that, in my opinion, you want to see coaches go out on the good note, right? Like you don't want to see them stay too long. and he's still fairly young, man, and he's got a family and grandchildren and all that good stuff. And you see his peers and things like that congratulate him on social media, and guys that played for him that now are coaches like Rhett Lashley. And um, I think it's pretty cool for the amount of players that come out and praise this man while he was at Auburn. The former stars while he was there that come out and they were like, dude, you changed our lives. Like, thank you. You were a man who made me a better man. Like you took me from being a kid and turned me into a man. And regardless of his records or how it ended towards the end at Auburn, whatever, I stand on that, man. I think that that's pretty dang cool for him to be the player's coach that he was and change those kids' lives and put them on the upward trajectory in life and help them any way he possibly could. And that's why he still holds a close relationship to a lot of those kids, a lot of those guys that moved on. Some played in the NFL, some didn't. Some are now in the coaching ranks. You know, you look at you can look at multiple guys like T. Reed. All right, take him for example. He posted a picture in a long tweet saying, "Man, you did everything for me. I can only thank you." I think Coach Malzahn brought a style of offense that changed college football, and he brought it to Auburn, and we took the college football world by storm. And you know, you look at his time in 2010 as offensive coordinator and 09, and you know, you're blown away at some things that he did with Chris Todd at quarterback. And you know, you go into 2010 with Cam Newton and you win a national championship, and then he leaves for a little while and goes and gets a head gig, and then he comes back in 2013, and you had one of the worst seasons that you've ever had in the history of your football program. And the next year, I find myself sitting in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the pouring down rain, and you're getting as just absolutely just clobbered. All right, that's the best way I can put it. I think LSU jumped up 21-0 on us. But while I was sitting in that rain, man, I saw a difference in the Auburn team from 2012 to 2013. And I left that stadium. I left Tiger Stadium that night saying, "Hey, that team's different, man. They didn't give up. They made a comeback. It fell short, and that was their lone regular season loss that year. And they ended up winning out until 13 seconds left in the national championship in Pasadena, California. And that was an absolute heartbreaker because I do feel like Auburn was the better team than Florida State. I really do. We just we we gagged that one away. We gagged that one away. And so, you know, you can look at 2017. I think that team, we had some injuries. I think it was a national championship level team. Jarrett Stidham was playing his best ball. We did blow one in Baton Rouge that year. That was just absolutely pathetic. But, you know, you put it all together. I think Coach Gus Malzahn had a hell of a career at Auburn and other stops, right? One thing I do love is he went to Florida State this year and said, "Hey, I want one more crack at Alabama." He waxes them, and now he's like, "Hey, I'm out of here, man. I call it quits. Deuces. I'll catch y'all on Lake Martin," right? So, congrats to him, man. Congrats to him and his family. And you know, thank you for bringing so many memorable moments. You know, the Prairie Jordan hair and the kick six and all of those things that we'll never forget for the rest of our lives. We want to show that appreciation to you. And like I said earlier, I don't care if you think that he should have been fired, he shouldn't have been fired, if you ever wanted him to come back or whatever. I don't care. That's not what this is about. This is about him and what he did at Auburn and the success that he had. And I saw a graphic today. The last time Auburn had a winning season without Gus Malzahn in the building was 2007. 2007 was the last time Auburn had a winning season when Gus Malzahn was not present. Let that sink in, man. Let that sink in, and that'll show you the respect that you should have for Coach Gus Malzahn. And happy retirement, Coach. Hope you enjoy it, man. And good luck in the future, man. Good luck with the family, and enjoy it. Enjoy every second of it. So that's going to be it for tonight, folks. I'm not going to keep you super long. It's War Damn Eagle for me. I might hop back on here tomorrow. I know no practice for me tomorrow. It's a Wednesday. And then Thursday night, it'll probably be another late live. So if you can, just hang with me. And it's going to be like that for a little while. I'll probably do some stuff on the weekends a little bit more. Got caught up last weekend, but yeah, it's just right now, middle school baseball is taking up some time in the afternoons, but I love it, man. We've got a heck of a team down here at Cottage Hill Middle School, and it's something that I really, really enjoy. I love coaching baseball, love helping the kids out, man, any way I can. Got to meet the kids yesterday for the first time. It was my first practice, and just they think it's cool that I played there. And I'll tell you a real quick story. So the kid gets a hit, and he gets on first, and the head coach is giving a little teaching point and everything, and player looks at me and he's like, "Coach, when did you play here?" And I was like, 08 and 09, man. And he was like, "Oh." And I was like, "What is it?" And he was like, "I wasn't born yet." And I was like, "Oh, man." And I was like, "Dude, chill, brother, chill." And and he like started laughing, and I was like, "You calling me old, huh?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "You're old." And we sat there and laughed for a second. And I just think it's pretty cool, man. I'm always down to help these kids get better at the game of baseball, and it's something that I really, really enjoy. So if I'm a little late on here because of that, I'm sorry and I apologize. Miss Devin said, "That's awesome, Blake. So happy for you. Just signed my boys up for baseball. T-ball. Can't wait." That is awesome, Miss Devin. Baseball is a game where, and I'm gonna have so much baseball stuff. You know how I love talking Auburn baseball. Um, Baseball is a game that it's one of the biggest team games there is. All right, I put it up there with football as being like that top level team game, like that true team game. But it can also humble you individually, right? Because it's a game full of failure. Like, I had to tell that to the kids tonight. I was like, I had a kid, he was beating himself up because he was 0 for 2. We played a little short scrimmage, inter squad scrimmage tonight. And his first 2 at bats, he popped up to the pitcher and then hit a slow roller to third base. And he's pretty talented kid, and one of the guys that we're going to rely on in our lineup. And he comes over there and he's just banging his helmet, not anything like aggressive. He's just like slapping his helmet. And he's like, "Come on, man, be better." And I walked up to him and I was like, "Hey, shake it off, brother." And he like looked at me and he was like, I was just a little out front, and I should have let that pitch get deep." And I was like, "Hey, now you got to go to the drawing board. All right, you got to get back it mentally. Mentally, you got to get back, and you know what you did wrong. You know why you rolled over to third base, because you tried to hit an outside pitch. You got an outside fastball, and you tried to pull the fastball instead of hitting it oppo into that 34 hole over there, or out in the right field on a line drive." I was like, "You know what you did? Now you got to go make an adjustment." Baseball will humble you like that. You can be on the highest of highs, and then all of a sudden you can find yourself on the lowest of lows. And that is why I think it's one of the greatest sports ever made. And it's a true team game. So I absolutely love it. And I think, signing your kids up, Miss Devin, it's baseball will teach them so much. And just, I think it's good for kids to get out and meet other kids and be around a team and compete. I think it's great. Like my son Levi, he went out there with me Sunday. He went out there with me tonight. My wife and my daughter come out there. Like it's just baseball will bring a family together, and that's why I think it's one of the greatest sports in the world. So Miss Connie, I see you. I'm so proud of you, Blake. Really, really proud of you. Thank you so much, Miss Connie. It's just something that I love to do, and especially being the school that I graduated high school from, getting to help the middle school team and trying to develop them to go to the high school level and win at that level. Like that's the cool part for me, is like when I step back on the field yesterday, and coaching the middle school kids. I was walking through the outfield and I was like, you know 18 years ago, like here I was, like, um I was a young punk in high school playing ball on this field. Now I'm back here, almost 2 decades later, and I'm coaching. So that's the cool part for me, and I let the parents know that too. So I let the parents know that I'm going to pour every bit of energy that I got into their kids, to make them not just better baseball players, but to prepare them for the high school level, of baseball, right? And I was first thing I talk about yesterday was grades. Like, hey, if you don't make good grades, you're not going to play. All right, so don't get it twisted. Just because you think you're the cream of the crop, if you don't make good grades, you're not going to play. And that's a big thing, and you got to get them ready, man, to take that next jump, because when you get in high school, that's the first thing the college coaches are going to ask for is grades, academics. All right, uh, what are you like in the classroom? Do you show up every day? Things like that. You gotta teach these kids something, because in college football, what they're getting taught right now, and even in college basketball, allowing pro players to come back and play college, you're not teaching those kids nothing. So we got to start early, man. Got to start early. So thank y'all. Love y'all. War Damn Eagle. I will catch y'all soon on the next one. I'm out.